Hey there everybody, Brett from Love Bats and the Belfry, back for another video. It's been a little while. Recently the new Halloween movie came out, Halloween Ends, and a lot of people have been reviewing it, and it's been quite the controversial topic since coming out a few days ago. But I just kind of wanted to give my 2 cents on it. I'm gonna try not to really repeat the same things that everyone has been saying about it. I went into Halloween Ends with extremely low expectations. Halloween Kills was one of those movies that when it came out, it was one of those movies, the more and more I thought about it, the less and less I was liking it. I've come around on it a little bit. I think it's fine for what it is. I think the reason I enjoy watching that is because of the kills, and it's in the title, and that is the reason to watch it. The whole social commentary thing on kills is what really ruined it for me. And with Halloween Ends that just came out, I really wasn't expecting things to kind of go well. And even Jamie Lee Curtis said in an interview like months before this movie came out that Halloween Ends is probably going to piss some people off. And yeah, that was definitely the case. I mean, I'm kind of glad I went in with low expectations watching this, and I'm glad Kelly and I didn't go to the theater to watch this. We were going to originally, because we haven't been to the theater in a little bit. But yeah, I was glad we watched this on Peacock, because this is a very, very different movie, and this is, of course, going to be divisive amongst a lot of people. And time will tell with this movie how people really feel about it. I mean, first initial reactions, I absolutely hated this movie, and I will say this is going to be fighting words to a lot of Halloween fans out there. But I'm one of those, like, I probably come off as a purist because I absolutely love the original Halloween movie, and this new trilogy is fine for what it is. Halloween 2018 was kind of a good spirit to the original movie. Halloween Kills tried to do its own thing and really failed at it with trying to make Michael Myers and things more than a slasher movie. And with Halloween Ends, it goes even more in that going off the rails to me. And I normally rate movies like directors, writers, and stuff like that who make movies. I mean, I tend to gravitate towards a lot of like more indie stuff and more stuff that takes a lot more risks. And yeah, normally I would applaud this movie for that. And a part of me wants to, but man, there was a lot in Halloween Ends that was executed just awfully. And it was just baffling to me what I was watching. I mean, I will tell people that this is one of the more interesting horror type films you'll watch this year, but I gotta say, like, this is the worst in the franchise. Like, probably even with it being very fresh in my mind. Like, I've watched Halloween Resurrection, I've watched Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 and 2, and like, I hate Rob Zombie's Halloweens, but watching Halloween Ends, maybe it was my coping mechanism, because I was just laughing at a lot of this movie, and I don't understand why they tried to do this. I don't know if it was just kind of a ploy to get people talking and have it to be a controversial movie, but everything that the original was in this, like how the original was, like it really went against like everything the original stood for, and kind of did the opposite. And you know, I'm not trying to say, you know, people who like this movie that they're wrong, like not in any capacity. Like I'm stoked that people can go to a movie, see, you know, the difference of what it is, and be like, hey, they tried something different and I really liked it, and you know, you are entitled to that. But this to me was definitely the final nail in the coffin as far as the Halloween franchise goes. And I know they're going to reboot this. Give it about five years. You know, maybe if they actually wait some more time, maybe 10 years. But I see in like the next 5 years them rebooting this franchise and just starting over again for, it's going to be now the 4th time, I believe. But yeah, a lot of people are saying like the Halloween Ends, you know, or the Halloween franchise is kind of a choose your own adventure type thing at this point. And yeah, it pretty much is. Like, not to be like a total snob and such, but I'm kind of what John Carpenter said, as like he meant for Halloween to be one movie and that's it. But it made money, people loved it. He started making more movies. Of course, you're not going to stop because it's a money machine, and you like everyone will beat a dead horse until it stops making money. So yeah, to me, Halloween Ends, it's like, while they did something different with it, it goes to show, like, my perspective on this series in general is, like, the fact they did different stuff with it, and it didn't work to me. So to me, Halloween is Michael Myers and Laurie Strode, and just a guy in a mask stalking teenagers, killing people. That's what it is to me. And they're trying to add more like social commentary and messages to it. To me, slasher movies, that was never what it was about. And I know in this day and age, there's a lot of elevated horror going on with, Jordan Peele's like Get Out and Us and the new Nope, and, things like X and It Follows and those type of movies. And I love those type of movies. Like, I'm glad that movies like that are being made and are doing well amongst people going to see horror movies and enjoying them. And I think they were trying to do something like that with Halloween Ends. And the thing is, it's, I don't know, as cliche as it sounds, it's like going to see Halloween Ends and not seeing Michael Myers in the movie. It's kind of like going to see like the Rolling Stones, and then the Rolling Stones came out and played 10 minutes of music and left. Like, it's like you didn't go to hear a cover band, or you didn't go to hear another band just play in place of what you wanted to see. So yeah, that's at least my problem with Halloween Ends. And the full like review of the movie, and there was like just everything that they tried to do. It's like I can't even really talk about it, because it's like you've probably watched other YouTube videos, and people had probably just said their 2 cents on everything that had to do with the movie. But to me, just the franchise in general, it's like this was the final nail in the coffin. And if you've seen the movie, you know that it comes to a complete resolve pretty much. Like, that they're going to reboot this eventually, because even though to me it wrapped up like basically everything, they're going to reboot this in some way, shape, or form. So overall, like, Halloween Ends is probably one of the worst horror movies I've seen this year. I was just baffled the whole time watching this. Like I said, it's one of the more interesting movies you'll watch this year. But yeah, there's been a lot of really bad, like, well-established horror villain or well-established horror franchises that have made new movies, and they've been awful. The new Scream, where it's a sequel, but you call the movie this by the same name. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. The new Scream, which everyone just basically referred to as Scream 5. There's just a lot of, just everything's getting so convoluted. And yeah, Halloween, like, Hollywood just can't leave things alone. So, I mean, this is basically a rant of just everything in general, but yeah, there's been a lot of well-established horror franchises that have come with new movies this year that have been terrible. I hated the new Scream, I hated the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I hated Halloween Ends. And so it's just one of those things where it's a double-edged sword. I know that some people are probably really like this movie, and like I said, that's awesome. But this is one of those things where I almost had like an existential crisis watching this movie, because now I'm just like, is it even worth me even paying attention to newer movies that are coming out? Because I find myself going back to like older movies, and I'm like, this is more my cup of tea. I don't know. Maybe I'm just an old soul or an angry old man. You can call me that. That's fine. But yeah, this was definitely the nail in the coffin to me for the Halloween franchise. And honestly, I'm not really that mad about it. I was just it was just almost baffling, like me watching like everything they did with this. And of course, this being the last movie of, they're saying this is the very last movie ever. It's almost like, why did you do this? It's like a lot of interesting ideas, but for the final film in your franchise, until the inevitable reboot 5 years later, it's just, I don't know, it's just baffling to me. This was just me word vomiting my thoughts out about Halloween Ends and just the whole franchise in general. And to me, if they reboot anything, I feel like I want to avoid it at this point. Like, you know, and if people say otherwise, that like it's really good, check it out, then I guess I'll go do that. But yeah, this yeah, I don't know. It's, to me, it ended. It's done for me. So yeah, every year I'm gonna watch the original Halloween, and you know, maybe Halloween 3, maybe some of the earlier sequels, because they're not that bad, but it's just not my cup of tea now. And you know, this is for a new generation, and I kind of understand that they want to do that and have an old franchise kind of appeal to a new generation, but I guess it's just not for me, and I'll just go enjoy this 1978 film. Halloween 3, you know, got a bad rap when it first came out. Now it's pretty beloved. I'm not sure if it's going to happen that way with Halloween Ends. It could, you know, time will tell, but at least for now, this movie was far from what I wanted to see. So, if you guys enjoyed Halloween Ends, definitely let me know what you thought. Overall, yeah, it just wasn't my thing, and you know, I'll leave it at that. And if it's your thing, then by all means, please enjoy yourselves. But if you watched to the end of this video, give me a thumbs up, and I appreciate you watching, and subscribe to the channel today. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. My name is Brett, and I will see you in a future video. Bye.